Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, Giants fan? Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. I'm Mike. That's Jules. That's Sean. I'm sure all you people, or most of you people, are fucking happy after you heard the news today about Jason Garrett getting fired. I'll just give my real quick 2 cents about this move, guys. Um, before I let it go to you guys and see if Stephen A. Jules gets crazy about this and John goes nuts. But listen, I don't know about this move at all because I don't know. Maybe people have been telling me like Freddie Kitchens is going to be more aggressive. He's going to take more shots downfield. I mean, that's all nice and everything. I'm sure they wanted to do that in the beginning, but I don't think anything's going to change. To be honest with you guys, like when we have like Matt Skura, Billy Price and Soldier playing the line, I'm like, these plays need to develop. Like, I just don't see it, guys. I really don't see it. I know everybody's all happy, excited about it, and probably putting on some music, Pitbull or some shit, start dancing around the room. Garrett's got fired. Seen all the videos, people fucking celebrating. I'm like, guys, I don't know about your takes, but I just don't. I hope so. I hope they improve somehow, and I hope they prove me wrong. But listen, I just don't see it with the people we have up front right now.
If we're going to be next, I mean, I don't like everybody dancing on people's graves. Like, that just bothers me. The guy lost his job. I mean, listen, he's a multi-millionaire and will have a job by the end of January somewhere as, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. He's going to do something. His NFL career is not over. He'll make millions more dollars as an NFL employee. So you don't feel too bad for the guy, especially the fact that he basically, was a flat tire, among possibly other flat tires, but an absolute flat tire, for the last year and a half with the Giants. But I do disagree with you on the front of I don't think anything's going to change. There's two parts of it in my mind. One was that Garrett did control a little bit more of the offense than maybe we thought, or at least I thought. I thought that this was a reflection of Judge as well. Judge is trying to make him the scapegoat. So if nothing changes, then he's going to be following Garrett right out the fucking door, whether it's at the end of this season in January 2022 or in fucking November 2022. He's going to be following him out the door, regardless of the date on the calendar, if nothing changes. So I think, for one, he wouldn't have fired him if he didn't want anything to change. So I think he's going to change something for the sake of that. And then also, if you're going to try to scapegoat Jason Garrett to give yourself a little bit of a kind of an extension, in a sense of a little bit of longer leash, there has to be something different on the field. So you're going to almost force that, in a sense, to kind of like justify firing Jason Garrett mid-season right before Thanksgiving like that. So you might be right, and it might just be a pure limitation. But I mean, I don't know how much time you guys spend on, watching some of those kind of breakdowns that some of the other guys do on the other podcasts, and like Baldinger and Orlovsky and stuff like that. But every week they show a play that's just a microcosm of the season. And, this week you had two guys covered on the outside and then three guys right in the middle of the field, literally looking at each other, trying to figure out how to get past each other, while four Buccaneers just chilled around them, all facing the quarterback except for one, just ready to pick off the ball, no matter where Daniel Jones was going to throw it. Stuff like that, sure, it's probably a wrong route, but it's goddamn Thanksgiving at this point, guys. Like, you're going to tell me as an offensive coordinator, as a head coach, you don't have every single person on this roster just at least crisp in what they're doing. If it's a talent issue, it's a talent issue. But at this point, people should be crisp in what they're doing. And running routes, you're learning in the routes in fucking April for your offense going forward. It's enough time that shit like that shouldn't be happening. So it's multi-layered in a sense. But in my mind, I think something will change. They will at least put their foot on the accelerator for the next 7 games for their own career mortality. And also, if they are staying around, to analyze what they actually do have on this roster.
I mean, how do you fire a guy 2 days before a holiday? I mean, how heartless is that? The holiday season's coming around, and you go and fire this guy. He's gonna be sitting around the table like, I got shit to be thankful for. I just lost my job 48 hours ago. No, honestly, I don't give a shit. I'm just throwing that out there, messing around. But seriously, it's been like that for the last, I would say, 6-7 weeks, where I felt, and I kind of said this in previous podcasts, where I felt like it was going to be either Graham or Garrett. One of them was going to go, right? And it was literally as if they were coaching not to lose their job. That's what I thought I saw every single time we went out there and played football. Yes, the defense got a little better, got a little tighter, but that could have been against some of the competition we were playing against, right? But they Graham plays that soft zone. Look, even the announcers on Monday night were saying, yo, Brady's just going to continue to go underneath against this zone. He's constantly in 3 deep. He's got the 2-man. He's going to all little to a run. Like, yo, he was just playing almost like I said, not to lose his job. Where Garrett, on the other hand, looked like he was in the beginning with all these like jumbo packages and throwing the ball at Andrew Thomas. And, it looked like he was mixing it up, but then it went right back to that, what I like to call prevent offense, where it's like they're in this offense where they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to get hurt. They want to be cautious. Yeah, they try to run the ball, but it's so predictable when they're running. Yeah, they try to throw the ball, but it's going to be intermediate short routes. Nothing's ever really down the field. There's no real screens. There's no misconceptions. Every time Tony gets the ball in the reverse, he's doing one or two things. He's either throwing the ball deep or he's running it end around. That's it. You can't figure something else out of that. You can't think maybe throw it back to Jones or run a double fake or something. Just something to come up if you're going to continue to use Tony in that matter. I do like the fact they got on the ball a little bit more. They were obviously cautious with Barkley. They didn't run him as much as they should have. Barkley looked a little cautious on certain runs. He looked pretty good on others. So, I don't know if that's just a matter of him getting his feet under him or if it's just, the fact that offensive line is a little weak. Is it the play calling? Who knows? But we knew going into the last few weeks that if something kept happening, we kept losing, something big was going to have to happen. And here it is. Jason Garrett got fired. So all you guys out on social media, Twitter, all this nonsense. Fire Garrett. He's horrible after week 1. Well, you got your wish. All right. So now I want to see what everybody says going out the last few weeks of the season. If the offense is still only putting up like 10 to 12 points, whatever the hell we averaging, all right, and they still suck, then what is it, right? Are we still going to complain? Are we going to look over it like, oh, it's still Garrett's fault? We're just going to blame him for the rest of the season? I don't know. But that's what we knew was going to happen. It happened. I think what is going to happen going forward, there's not going to be any more shakeups like this. This was the major one to try to put some kind of jolt into the team. And at the end of the season, like you guys have been saying, I think your boy Getty is going to just kind of resign or step down. And they can fire him. He's going to kind of do like one of those, you know what? I've had a long tenure in the NFL. It's been great. I think I'm just going to kind of go lay out in the sunset type of shit. And he's going to retire because I don't see 2 big major fires at the end of the season.
He doesn't even have to step down or do anything. His contract is over at the end of the season. So he could just opt not to renew and retire.
There you go.
It's going to break my heart if that day comes. Obviously I want the Giants to go 6-1 down the stretch and, compete for a playoff spot and fucking whatever else. And they keep Gettleman and they keep Joe Judge and Jones and Saquon and, all the other guys that, we've been rooting for to succeed for years now. But, it's looking more and more likely that day is just an inevitable.
I did say I was defending Garrett for a long time, but before the game last night, I put $2,000 on the Giants. I put 1,000 on the money line, and I put $1,000 on the 10.5. So I figured, all right, at least if they cover, my bets will just even out. I won't owe anything. And I won like $3,000 over the weekend on a nice parlay. So I had that money to kind of burn. You know what I mean? I was like, let me just fucking go for it all, And I should have just listened to the previous podcast because I was like, I know the Giants are going to lose to Tampa Bay, and then they're going to win the rest of the games down the year. So I should have just listened to my dumb idiot self a couple of weeks ago when I predicted the Giants would go
scouting, Mike.
You know what I mean? What a fool I am. So all right, I'm done to defending Garrett. Obviously, it didn't work out. Time to move on. But listen, if we play Philly and nothing changes, and Philly's all of a sudden just scoring 30 points a game, if nothing changes, dude, I don't know what's next. What do you think is going to be next? You think it might be Joe Judge?
It won't happen until the offseason. And honestly, I think the Maras, they don't like to do stuff like this. And it's just been a conveyor belt of embarrassment over the last, 9 years or whatever it's been. And I think it took a lot for them to have to fire Garrett midseason like this. I think that's something they want to avoid at all possible costs. But I think Joe Judge's press conference after the game last night, there's a lot of things that he said that was very telling. And I think that they're probably thinking, unless it's just an abomination the rest of the way, they're going to want to retain Joe Judge on, even if it's just the off chance
Maybe.
that it hits next year, but to not sit and fire OC in November and then in January turn around and have to fire your general manager or whatever, however that's going to end up being worded in the media or what happens in real life. Fire your head coach after 2 years, a third time in a row you had to fire a head coach after 2 years. Now you're looking at a new GM, a new head coach, get rid of everybody that's here, because when you get a new head coach in, you got to do a lot of roster flushing to get his guys that he needs for his system to work in there. So I think they want to avoid that at all costs. But like I said, if they go 1-6, 2-5 like that down the stretch, you're probably going to have to. You're probably going to have to do it.
See, I don't know if he gets fired, even if they do that down the stretch, right? Because then who's going to go? It's going to be your boy Denny. He's going to take the fall for the remainder of this season. And here's the thing: we all know going into the start of this whole Judge era that Garrett wasn't his guy. He basically pretty much handpicked the entire rest of the staff. They all had some sort of connection to him through New England, or even some of them through college in Alabama, right? And yet Garrett was just this standpoint that was there. He was this sort of guy that they almost wanted to make a head coach, but they knew he couldn't just step into the role after leaving Dallas as a head coach, right? That was a big pick of the Maras, if I'm not mistaken, or Tish. I forget which one, right? But I think it was Mara. But that was not his guy. And he kind of let it go for this long. You figure a season and a half of having the worst offense or second to worst offense in the entire league. He's like, yo, get this guy out. He's not doing what I want. It's not what we need. And it's time for him to go. So now things can't just change overnight. Granted, they're going to continue to run basically his system. It's just going to be Kitchens calling the plays. So it's going to be basically, let's just see if it just needed maybe, a new pair of eyes on the whole playbook. But after that, next year now, he's going to get that pass. Judge has got it. He's definitely good until next year. Right now, they'll bring in a new offensive coordinator, unless, of course, we go 6-1, or we go like 5-2 down the stretch, and some crazy thing happens, and Kitchens is lighting it up, and we're averaging 28 points, 30 points a game. Yeah, all right, the Kitchen moves in, he steps up, he's the OC. If not, they're going to hire somebody to come in. It's going to be Judge's handpicked, and now everything is going to ride on Joe Judge next season. And if we start off 0-6, or we have, maybe even like 1-8 or some kind of craziness, he's gone. That's going to be where he gets cut, and that's where we're going to have to cut shit. That's it. Bury this whole project. It's a wrap. Move on. But if not, and then all of a sudden either Kitchen steps up or they get this new guy comes in and this offense looks better than it has in the last 5 seasons, he's going to be around for a little bit, Judge, right? Because then it's going to look like he got his guys in there and he got what he wants. So at this point in time, right now, the person that the spotlight's on, in my opinion, is Kitchens, because he's got an absolute great opportunity to step in and see if he can turn this offense around. And if he does, he's going to get all the credit and revere, and people are going to be talking up his name. They're going to be pumped up for 2022. Everything's going to be like, let's do this. We got this. Holy shit, this guy was Garrett. Oh, my God. Here's the offense. Look at Daniel Jones. He looks great. Barkley's running through holes. He's making guys like Price even block better. It's incredible. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, then this dude's going to secure himself that OC job for next year, and they're not going to have to bring somebody else in. So that's what it's going to be. So, yes, in a weird way, Garrett was a scapegoat. It can be an excuse. It may have bought Judge another season, and I think that's kind of what it came down to. And now we're going to have to see what's up. Now we'll see if what Murph was saying last week when he was on the show, that he mentioned that he goes, look, I think a lot of times Garrett might be pigeonholed into calling specific plays because Judge wants to run this ground and pound like Cleveland's type of offense in Tennessee and play defense and, manage the clock and play the short game. Well, now we're going to see, right? Because Garrett's out the window, and now we're going to have the opportunity to see if that is what it is, or if it was just Garrett just not having like that sort of new age era of the NFL offense and running it like he was, 15 years ago.
Freddie Kitchens sucked in Cleveland. I don't have my hopes up for him. Right. But listen, like I said a couple weeks ago with Jason Garrett, with people, the coaches not throwing anybody under the bus, and then all of a sudden you see a few days ago when I think a reporter asked Jason Garrett if there's any cornerstone offensive lineman on this team, and he only mentioned Andrew Thomas. I mean, yeah, sure, he was being honest, but that's kind of throwing the other guys under the bus, even though they're all trash. And I think we could all admit that now. So I think that kind of dug his own grave a little bit, and he was made to be an easy scapegoat. But listen, like I said, Freddie Kitchens, he sucked in Cleveland. I understand last year, with that whole Seattle game or whatever game he coached, he had Colt McCoy taking deep shots down the field. But listen, you're going to give Daniel Jones more chances to throw the deep ball, hopefully, which is a good thing. But, then you're going to see the protection come off of Jones and see what he has, because if that protection, because they've been protecting him for a while now, if they let him put on the big boy pants and let him take more shots, that could be more turnovers. And then all of a sudden that shit starts to hit the fan again. Where is Danny going to be the guy? He's turning the ball over again. He's throwing picks. So that's a whole nother story we're going to see the rest of the year play out. And I won't be surprised if we start seeing the rumors come true of Russell Wilson to come here. And I could definitely see that as a possibility.
Well, listen, hopefully Daniel Jones throws the ball to guys on his team. Now like yesterday on that ridiculous screen back pass, whatever the fuck you want to call it, where he was rolling out to the right, trouble, drifting. Like at that point, throw for the sideline. Throw it to the sideline. At least Barkley was over there. Maybe he has a shot at catching the ball. No, you're throwing as if you were throwing it you almost hit him in the chin and the numbers in the face. It was ridiculous. But you're right. And we'll get into that Russell Wilson talk, but I don't even want to get started on that either.
Yeah, that we got to save to free agency at least. We can't have the conversation right now. I'm not mentally there yet.
Yeah, but just be prepared for it, when the season ends. But listen, he's got 7 more games to step it up, man. He's going to have to, and at least with Freddie Kitchens staying in there, the terminology kind of stays the same. So they're just going to be kind of adding more plays to the playbook, so you don't have to learn a whole new offense, which is important.
I think, especially midseason on the fly, you don't want that. Yeah. You would never attempt something like that. It's just not. It's not a possibility in this league. Maybe high school, sure, but not even. But I don't know. It's not like they need to change the playbook per se. They just have to open it up and put their foot on the fucking gas pedal, and that's it. Like I said, I think that Joe Judge is forced now to do that, to prove himself right, that it's Jason Garrett's fault and this and that. Like I said, just that press conference last night, that honestly, the way he said, if I was a player, it's not right for the player, whatever it is, I would feel a type of way. Whatever he said, that quote that he said, I should have wrote it down. Bad on me.
Got to put players in a better position to succeed.
That's not what I was going. He said something about if I was a player, I would, you got to do what was right for the player, or I feel bad for the players, or whatever, something to that effect. Or there'd be a lot to be pissed about if I was a player, or whatever it is. Just he was fired up, and I don't know if he was just trying to win back the locker room, so to speak. But I think that what it tells you is I think Garrett did have a lot more of an influence on how this offense was going to run. I just don't understand how that's even possible. Joe Judge is the head coach. You know what I mean? What Mara's telling them how to play these games, that doesn't make any sense to me. So it's just weird. It's going to be crazy to see how this unfolds. But I think if you're going to bet on anything, I think you're gonna see them definitely taking more chances. And if it doesn't work out, they have 2 first-round picks. If he's throwing interceptions all over the place and they can't get out of their own way still, then maybe you do go explore that.
If we lose to Philly, it's a wrap.
What?
If we lose to Philly, it's a wrap.
It's a bad look. But regardless of who wins or loses that game or any game this season, what it's about is being competitive and really playing crisp, clean football. Enough of the fucking penalties, enough of fucking wrong routes, enough of fucking force 4 fucking comebacks right at the fucking sticks. Enough the bad punts.
All that's good.
enough bogging down in the red zone.
I just don't agree with you saying they weren't competitive. I think pretty much like exception of last night. I think they were competitive in a lot of games, but you're right with the Christmas, the whole offense, Christmas.
It's like next month. Don't worry about it.
You know what I mean? It's like it's far away, but like, listen, they got to be on the same page and they got to start fucking getting real crisp, man. They got to do something to step up their game. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot more players on the move. You're going to see coaches go. You're going to see a whole fucking crazy amount of changes, man. If they play like the way they did last night. It's not the way they just lost. They stunk up the whole fucking night, man. It's like a Monday night game. Everybody's watching.
They have 15 days off. They had the bye week and there was a Monday night game. That gives you basically all of Sunday extra and then 3/4 of Monday. You're talking almost like 15 days off. And you come out and with Saquon and Andrew Thomas and Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney and Daniel Jones and fucking Evan Ingram for whatever he's worth, Rudolph,
they were all there.
Bro, everybody's fucking there. And the only thing that you muster is one field goal and then a gifted touchdown that was because of Adoree Jackson making the interception. They got the ball on like the 5 or the 6 yard line, and then a literal fluke play tossing it to a left tackle that you can never use again the rest of the season, maybe not even next season, and make it work well.
And the saddest part of that is that Andrew Thomas now has more receiving touchdowns than Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney combined.
That's crazy.
That's sad, guys. That's fucking sad.
That's crazy.
It's Thanksgiving.
Come on, bro.
Thanksgiving.
You went out and spent $100 million on a wide receiver and drafted this other kid number one in the draft, right? Your first round pick, whatever it was, 25th, whatever the fuck it was. And your left fucking tackle has more receiving touchdowns than they do combined.
I wish there was a prop bet, Jules.
That's scary, dude.
Jules, if there was a prop bet to take that, you know how much money we could have won if we.
Oh my God, bro! They would probably give you like $100 million a one on that type of nonsense. Like, what are you kidding me? Yeah, by after week 10, Andrew Thomas, your starting left tackle, have more receiving touchdowns than your first round pick and your number one wide receiver that you paid $25 million for.
Not only that,
dude, really?
Not only that, who leads the team in touchdowns right now? I think Evan Ingram has 2 or 3, and he leads the team. Rudolph has 1. Saquon has like 2 touchdowns. Booker has a touchdown or 2. Like, it's not like there's a guy who's got 8 touchdowns right now, and then everybody else is basically just moving the ball down the field.
They're fantasy irrelevant.
And I don't want to hear that it's Daniel Jones's fault. When Daniel Jones had less as far as skill position players, probably a worse offensive line, the kid had 4 games of 4+ touchdowns, and then out of 12 games.
Missed those games.
He played 13 games and he played a drive. Big fucking whoop. That doesn't count as a game when you played one drive. And I think he was like 5 for 5 in that game anyways. Regardless, the kid can make fucking plays, and he can score, especially if you want to say on bad teams, fine. Every bad team you play, get fucking 4 touchdowns and see who's going to be complaining at the end of the season, right? He's not getting anything against anybody. You have Saquon Barkley, Kadarius Toney, Darius Slayton, who was a 5th round pick with 8 touchdowns in like 13 games or 14 games, whatever it was, in his rookie year. You have all these guys, and no one is producing at all anywhere. Like,
they're not using Barkley right, guys, to begin with. Do you
watch using anybody right?
How many times does Barkley go right up the middle on these play calls? He's not a power back. Why can't you get him out in space, like sweeps? I know we don't have the line for it, I guess, that's the fucking easy answer, but at least attempt like a sweep, a couple screens here and there, like nothing to get him out in space. Line him up outside, like utilize his fucking guy. He's a talent.
He's an uber talent. He's a god level fucking athlete. Okay, maybe the injuries have taken him out of that fucking category. Now he's just a borderline elite level athlete. Fine. He's still an excellent player. You can't tell me that every time they go to throw the ball, this kid is a check down, he gets hit fucking behind the line of scrimmage. The reason why that happens, in my mind, is it's predictability. When the defense lines up, they know instantly with a 70-80%, maybe higher than that, success rate on what the team is about to do. If we can just do this right, they're going to be forced to do this, and we'll know exactly where to attack them.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens over and over and over. They run the ball, boom, they get hit in the backfield. They try to run a trick play, boom, they sniff it out every single time. They get nothing off, and that's because they're predictable. We could sit there and we could say, I know what's going to happen now. And how often are you actually fucking right? They were doing it. You're watching the Manning cast, they were fucking playing the game while they were doing that. It's a predictable offense. Maybe because Jason Garrett's been in the league forever, everything is stale. You do some homework on him and you can figure out how to stop them based off of what the personnel is. I legit hope that Joe Judge, with all that fire in his fucking eyes and everything like that, it's Tuesday night. So it's 8:30. So we're 7 hours removed from Jason Garrett being fired. I hope this man is sitting there on a fucking mirror trying to find his ball sack because he's got 7 weeks in a row to find a way to show that he's the fucking guy and he knows what he's doing.
Well, listen, to speak on Daniel Jones, right? Because I did proclaim that he's my quarterback, and I still stand by it for now. Okay, there's no reason for me to think differently. What he needs to improve upon, which is an easy thing to get better at in practice, right? It may not happen next week against the Philadelphia Eagles. It may take a week or two to kind of adjust. But I think that part of the reason that he's doing this is because of the lack of consistency with his receivers. And he does have a tendency to sort of lock in on one read. And you could see it, man. He'll drop back, and if he's looking to the left, he's going to stay looking to the left. He doesn't even bother to look to the middle of the field, to the right of the field. And he's got to get better at that. Even if it's just you drop back, and for that first couple of steps as you're going back, you look to your right. So you can at least freeze the safety or something. Because if you're that locked on the left side, you know where those guys should be. Now, I don't know if that's just because he doesn't have that sort of chemistry yet with some of these guys. I mean, look, let's be fair. He's only had Galladay for what, maybe 5 games this season? Didn't have him for all the preseason. Barely had him for training. Right? So, like I mean, think about it. When Shepard comes in and he's healthy, that guy has like 9 catches, 10 catches in that game, right? Because he just knows where he's going to be. So I think that has something to do with it. But at the same time, you're an NFL quarterback. You've played on all the highest levels in high school, college, and now in the pros, right? You got to be able to look off a friggin' defender occasionally, all right? Look to the right side for a half a second and then turn your eyes back to where you want to lock on the left. That and the boneheaded plays. He's got to realize that, look, if you're getting flushed out of the pocket and the play was to the backside, if you can't throw across your body and reach Saquon on the sideline, either run the ball or throw the shit away. You're out of the tackle box. It's real simple. That's what all these guys do nowadays. Even Brady was doing that last night. Brady can't move for shit. He's 44 and he never could run when he was 24.
Who does that remind you of, though, Jules?
Huh?
Who does that remind you of? You said he's playing like a bonehead decision sometimes. Who does that remind you of early on in his career?
Oh, yeah, don't even. Well, you know what? Did he approve? He approved though through the years. Did he not?
Eli did approve. He did approve. His first couple of years, they were like they wanted him out of New York. So because he was making these bonehead decisions, even in the Super Bowl when he won. Remember that out pass where what's his name just dropped the interception?
Yeah.
Samuel.
Bro.
Like it was just a dumb fucking play. I'm like,
the most famous catch in the franchise history was a boneheaded play.
Right.
He escaped the sack and threw the ball into the middle of the field.
That should have been picked off.
The most iconic play.
If that pick was picked off, which it should have been, there'd be a lot of people screaming for him to be out of New York. I'm telling you right now, because there was a lot of heat. I wish there was I guess there was the internet back then, but I wish they had like social media shit back then because, oh my God, the hate Eli would have got was crazy. Listen, I'm not comparing the two, Jules. I'm not, but hey, listen, sometimes you go through your first like 25 games in your career. You're going to do some shit, especially when you're trying to make up for Secura fucking Price and Soldier not blocking any goddamn buddy. You know what I mean? Makes it easy for him to just chuck it.
And I even saw Barkley missing a couple of easy blocks too. He had some times where he was barely getting a hat on guys when they were blitzing him off the edge. So, that's got to get a little bit better too. And again, I think that's some rustiness as well. If he's missing all these games like he did, and of course, it's, someone will do the fluke injury. There's nothing you could do about it.
Communication is part of it.
Well, these guys look rusty. They look the part. We don't look like a good football team. We're not, like you guys said earlier. You guys were both commenting on this. That's where that crispness comes into play, right? Not Christmas. Crispness, right?
I think that's going to have to be the name of the episode.
Right? And who am I to be that articulate all of a sudden, right? But I don't know. I just had that word down. I just wanted to go with it, right? But no, look, and that's where that comes from, man. You can't just keep having different receivers out there. Look, I was hearing how, they were saying about, I think it was that guy, I can't think of his name, the big announcer that's at halftime, was saying like how much Dallas missed their left tackle. And oh my God, that killed Dak Prescott this week. And that's
Don't
why
get me started.
And you do 2 fantasy points, right? It's amazing how when these other teams are missing a couple of key pieces here and there, that's the excuse they love to hang their hats on.
Thank you,
But
Jules.
as soon as we try to say it as Giants fans, we're crying. We're making excuses. We've sucked for 10 years. It's Jason Garrett. Yeah.
Thank you.
But you see some inefficiencies when you don't have these guys on the field. It's just how it is. I don't care. Kenny Galladay doesn't have enough practice and times and throws with Daniel Jones because everybody's all crying, let's throw him a fade in the end zone. That's how we can score in the red zone. Let him jump up for the ball. But if you're not practicing that, Eli and Plaxico didn't get that kind of play down in the first 3 weeks they played together. It took like that whole season, and it wasn't close to the end of the year and beginning of the playoffs that they actually started getting that timing down, and he knew where Plax was able to jump up and catch that pass. And then they started getting that rhythm together, and that's when the Giants started rolling and Eli was getting going, right? Yeah. So that takes time. And again, that's why I think these next 7 weeks are going to be interesting. You know what? Look, we can forget about the playoffs. I think that shit is done unless we go somehow 6-1 or some crazy ass run. And, all of a sudden a couple of teams lose here and there. But all that said, I want to see just the offense score more than 20 points a game. I want to see like 24. I want to see us averaging somewhere in that neighborhood. I want to see the defense step up a little bit and not play this soft ass Mickey Mouse zone where we can get picked apart underneath. And then every once in a while, they'll take a shot deep on us and beat one of the corners because they've been playing soft the whole game. You know what I mean? So that I want to see those kind of improvements. I want to see that. If that's what happens, then I might feel good about going into 2022. But if we don't, and it's the same nonsense, man, 2022 might be the same, fellas. That's just the reality.
It seems like the defense was like letting them chip away because they wanted to keep their offense, like Tampa Bay's offense, on the field for a long time, just so we could keep our offense off the field. I think that's how it works. They wanted to keep their own offense off the field, these goddamn Giants. Thank you, Julie.
That's like I was saying earlier, though.
Appreciate
that.
I
swear to God, it was as if for like 6-7 weeks out of the season. Actually, you know what? Even further than that. That shit goes back to the Washington game, okay? And that's week 2, where I felt right then and there that both Graham and Garrett were playing not to lose their job. And that's why you saw us settling for field goals, which, by the way, we lead the league in, right? And then you saw Graham giving up just field goals. And it's like literally we're going field goal for field goal, field goal for field goal. And then once in a while they'll punch one in for a touchdown and we can't do it. And then all of a sudden that's how we end up losing. And that's been like what the season's been summed up. Literally, you play that soft of a zone. I mean, you saw how they even got Brady a couple of times where they had like 8 guys in the end zone. Like, what else are you going to throw the ball with 8 guys? Like, dude, they literally come in every inch of the end zone. So, like, yeah, then you got to settle for a field goal. And then they realized they should punch it in, and that's when Jones scored one. And, then they started breaking that defense apart. But, like, that needs to change. That's not acceptable. Graham doesn't blitz for shit, man. And if he does, it's like once in a blue, man. 3rd and 11, we had Brady on the ropes in the early part of the second half when the game was close. And Brady had like fucking 10 days to throw the ball. And what does he do? Completes it for a 20-yard gain. First down. Keeps that drive going. Brady's pointing, and they go right down the field again. I mean, dude, it's ridiculous.
Well, listen, the era's over. The era's over now, Jules. This is on to a new era, so we just gotta hope we get some wins and it plays better and see what happens. You know what I mean? We're done. Fuck it. We're moving on. It's over. I lost money on the fucking game. It changes my perspective on everything. Let me tell you, when you got $2,000 riding on, you're like, fuck Garrett, fuck the offensive line, fuck Edelman. I'm all this bad thoughts are just going through my mind. But guys,
Mike, listen, I got a solution. Next time you need to do that, right? Put 2,000 on a Monday night against Tom Brady and the Giants playing the way they've been playing.
Right.
Just give me 500 and I'll just come by and smack your nuts as hard as I can, and you'll feel the same way. All right, and you'll save $1,500.
Well, there you go. That's part of saving money for the holiday season, right there. But listen, guys, we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with the BBO NYG podcast. All right, guys, we are back. I'm Mike. That's Jules. That's Sean. We are back with the BBO NYG podcast. Guys, we got any more topics to discuss about Garrett, the Giants, or you just want to move right into these picks?
Well, before we get into the picks. Oh, sorry, John, what are you saying?
We could do our preview during the picks, when we get to the Giants game, which, I mean, we could even start with that. And then just go right into the picks from there. The preview is going to be probably maybe 25 words from me the most. Not really much to be said. It's fucking Michael Strahan day. They should probably hope it rains so they can cancel it and reschedule it for 2022. Sure. Not that may be better, but it's Michael Strahan day for real. And after firing Garrett, you got to go out there and you got to go score 24, 27 points. Defense has got to go out there, hold them less than 20, and fucking win and win soundly. Play crisp football on both sides of all three sides of the ball, three phases of the ball, whatever you want to call it, and go out there and fucking find a way to be competitive and win the game. You don't have to blow them out 42-7. That doesn't matter, but go fucking win a game, be competitive, play good ball. And I'm picking the Giants to do exactly that, obviously.
Well, look, here's my thing, right? And here's something I just wanted to talk about before we get into the picks, because it's going to absolutely lead into the picks. I don't know. Call me, childish or whatever you want. But when I was a kid, I used to swear that they would have the Cowboys, the Redskins, maybe the Lions, because somehow that just meshed with like Thanksgiving. But like it made sense, right? Like it was kind of like Cowboys and Indians in a way that like had Thanksgiving, even though it was the Pilgrims. I understand. Don't get me crazy. Don't kill me on social media, not like that. But I was talking about as a kid growing up. All right. And now look, you take the element of the Redskins out of it. I think Detroit like somehow had some sort of like pass to it where they like initially was the first team to play on Thanksgiving. And the Cowboys being America's team, so they have to play on Thanksgiving. But guys, I mean, the league has changed in so many ways. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of fucking tired of seeing the Detroit Lions have to play at 12 o'clock, which, by the way, isn't the worst thing, because most of the time nobody watches that game. Nobody gives a shit about that game. Even from a betting perspective and fantasy perspective, you really don't, because it's very rare that you have that many players going. And it's kind of like the time you're either getting ready, you're traveling, you're taking a quick shower, the Macy's parade just ended, you're like kind of on your way to go to wherever you're going to go for the holiday. So you don't really give a shit about it. But at the same time, I'm fucking sick of seeing the Cowboys and the Lions get to host home games every fucking Thanksgiving, man. I don't know about you guys. I am beyond that shit. You don't even have the Redskins anymore, which they actually should have been like the other team to host because, obviously with the Pilgrims and all that shit and tradition of Thanksgiving, you think like the one team might be able to fucking host, but whatever. That we're not allowed to say that word anymore. We're not we'll talk about that team anymore. It's not politically correct. All right, sorry. Okay, I apologize. I didn't mean anything by it. But, there are a lot of tribes that say that was like a war cry and they were all for it. And you still have the Seminoles down in Florida. So anyhow, with all that said, I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm over that bullshit. I guess the Bills and the Saints on the new NFL thing that they started doing about 10 years ago is the best game to watch all Sunday.
Picks?
Thursday, rather.
I mean, after all I can say of that, listen, we slaughtered a whole race of people to stuff our fat faces with turkey and watch the Detroit Lions, America. Anyway, I'm sure that'll get me in trouble with some.
Oh yeah, you went there, bro. You definitely went there. Right? And that was like expansionism, and it was like 200 years after Thanksgiving that like we don't even know if it actually did take place. There is no actual proof that any kind of tribe that was native to this country actually sat down with the Pilgrims and actually had dinner on this day. But we honor it. We say, what the heck? And we just went with it. And that's our day. And that's Thanksgiving. And it's a good day to start because to me, it kicks off the whole holiday season. I mean, shit, Santa Claus comes down 34th Street at the end of the Macy's parade, right? What other way to kick off the holidays? Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and all the other ones that are for the next, 6 to 8 weeks, whatever it is. 6 to 8 weeks, whatever it is. I don't know, you got the Three Kings in January. I don't know, Ramadan. I don't know, man. I lose track. There's like a new holiday now. Like there's some new holiday that's in there. Who knows?
SantaCon is back where you get fucking 500 drunk Santas fucking running around New York City like fucking maniacs. Who the fuck thought of that shit? But anyway, let's start with the pickup pool, man. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, huh? Make sure you eat a lot and see your family and try not to get too drunk.
He said don't get too drunk. I'm like, drink a lot. All right. Next, all right, here we go. The pickup pool, man. Like, of course, Woody's in first place. All right, that's
Woody.
Rob's right behind. Woody has 115 and a half points. The Big Blue offensive is at an even 100. We are 15 and a half points down. Under that is right me, Shadows Lobster Meat is there, Eric, Bobby Boucher, Changes Need, Trainer. That's my brother, John the Boar, all the way down to 90, B Diddy at 82, Pug 79. Oh my God, these guys are just stinking up the joint. But listen, we got to make.
Where's my fiance at?
Your fiance Nancy, she's ahead of the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with exactly 100.2. I don't know how they made that. We're tied for 5th with her right now. I think
we had 2 bad weeks, man. We had 2 bad weeks. That's
I think Nancy just listens to the podcast and just picks our picks. I mean, it just we're even, so that would just make sense. So we need a strong week, fellas. We need to get.
I'm feeling it, Mike. I'm feeling a strong week. I'm gonna be thankful for my picks this week. That's one thing I'm thankful for.
Man. All right.
I'm thankful for finding out that Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and Austin Johnson were in Turks and Caicos, and we had listeners in Turks and Caicos. I'm thankful for that.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a lot of fun to know.
Definitely. Yeah. You know what? Listen.
That's wild, man. It's just seeing that. I was like, and then fucking Murph telling us that they were there at the time people are listening. And I'm like, that's nice for them to listen to this podcast. Just fucking come on and be a guest. All right. But anyway, listen, let's start with
message in the off season.
There you go.
See what happens.
Maybe we'll do a show live in Turks and Caicos on one of them.
I'll send him a t-shirt. It won't fit him, but I'll send it to him.
Right, send it to them anyway. Maybe give it to their girlfriend or something, wife, whatever.
Listen, the first game. All right, let's pick a pool. We need this.
The best game of the day.
Let's go.
Lions, Bears, baby.
Oh, yeah, of course. This is our punishment for taking over America. We have to watch the Bears Lions on Thanksgiving. Bears they're in Detroit, and the Bears are -3. And their rumor came out that Matt Nagy this will be his last game, and he'll be fired after Thanksgiving. They don't want to do dirty by firing somebody before Thanksgiving, Jason Garrett, Joe Judge, but they're gonna fire him after. At least they letting them know, like, you're gone after Thursday.
Wow. See, I mean, is that official or is that just rumor?
Yeah, no, it's pretty much official. So
because here I was 100% kind of wanting to like push for the Lions, right? And like say, look, they played a lot of tight games, but it wasn't for some miracle football field goal, rather, they would have beat the Ravens, right? And now because you said that, where the coaches got nothing to lose, like, who knows what you're going to see? This guy might just pull like everything out of his hat and not care. We're like, oh, we were saving this for this and saving that for that. And I don't care no more. I'm just going to let it roll. So,
And the Red Rifle starting. Red Rifle's back in the league.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm still going Lions.
Wow. I'm going with the Bears, Jules. That's crazy. Lions are the worst team I've ever seen play football.
All right.
Up to John.
Bears
or Lions?
Lions.
Whoa!
Wow, Lions getting paid. Lions.
Mike, you have been noted for saying that you like the Bears and the Bears. Oh, Bears.
I do. I like the Bears. All right. Next game, middle game of the Thanksgiving day. Boo, the Cowboys -7.5. They're without their players. Made them look like a completely different team. Surprise. Going against the Ravens. Half points.
I am going to take a little credit there, though. I did say not to pick the Cowboys last week, all right? I said they're not that team. They're not that fucking good. I won't even missing in their tackle. That's why Dak was lost. They had no Amari Cooper because he was out of COVID. CD Lamb got hurt. Oh, my God. What is that, injuries? And your team sucks?
Right.
Don't get me started.
You know how it feels.
I hate this game. The Raiders have let me down.
They have.
For some weird reason, I could kind of see them step up for this Thanksgiving game. Teams have a weird way of going into Dallas specifically and either shitting the bed and Dallas wins like 43-3, or they go in there and they end up having this like crazy ass game. They end up beating the Cowboys, right? By like 10 or 14. And I just don't know what Raiders team is going to show up. They haven't looked the same in the last couple of weeks. They even lost to us. I just don't like the 7.5. I can see the Cowboys winning by like 7 easily. I just that half is bothering me a little bit. If I was truly betting this game, I would probably take the Cowboys and buy it down a point and just roll with it that way. But since I have to play the 7.5,
I mean,
I gotta think the Cowboys bounce back, man. I really do think the Cowboys bounce back on Thanksgiving. If they don't, then they really suck, like I've been saying.
No Cooper, no CD Lamb again. So
they're both out, definitely. I thought Cooper was back. He's not.
No, Cooper's definitely out. Definitely out. And CD Lamb didn't fucking practice today with that concussion, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to suit up on Thursday. That's why I'm taking the Raiders. So I guess it's up to John.
All right, you know what? In light of that, I really thought Cooper was definitely back, and I thought CD Lamb, they were going to, was still in concussion protocol, and it was going to be sort of like something that was more evaluated tomorrow.
That's what they said.
Under the assumption that both those receivers are out, then I'm going to roll with the Raiders.
Somebody looked that up with Cooper being. I could have sworn it said he was definitely out, but yeah, well, we could always change it at the end if we find out something. I could have sworn he's definitely gonna be out. I could have sworn 2 games. All right, next
he
game.
is out. Amari Cooper is out for that game.
He is, right?
And CD, they officially ruled CD out, or is he still questionable?
Nah, but he's not, because he didn't practice today with the concussion. I mean, he only got tomorrow. You know what I mean? So it looks like
I'll roll with the Raiders. I'll roll with the Raiders on that account.
Raiders it is.
All right. So there's one thing to consider, though. We talked about the 2 teams on the fields, but in reality, this is a prime time holiday game in Jerry World. There is a 3rd team on that field that is going to have a heavy influence on this game. They're the Texas Zebras, and if you know what I mean, Jerry Jones is going to have a nice fat envelope sitting on those fucking referees' locker room fucking
no, they're gonna be stuffed up. They're gonna be stuffed up the turkeys' asses. They fucking give them this piece.
Yeah, that's right. There's gonna be a nice.
Right. That's how they smuggle them down money.
There. Make sure you take the stuffing out of it.
They got to shove their whole head up there to get that cash. Fuck that.
So wait, can I get a prediction? I think the Cowboys win 27-20. I'm just gonna I don't know why.
They shut them out without anybody.
But it's not in my heart to pick the Cowboys, so I'm gonna pick the Raiders, and let's just go that way.
Roll it. And then the last game of the night.
The last game of the night, the Bills are away. They're in New Orleans, and the Bills will be doing the Giants a favor if they beat the Saints, with that playoff hopes. Bills are -6 against the Saints. Saints got a good D. Bills fucking Josh Allen hasn't looked great because they can't fucking run the ball. And he's been throwing picks like crazy the past 4 games because they don't run. So, man, I kind of like the Saints with the points, guys.
Those are very valid points, and it is true. I mean, but Matt Breida has been showing a little something on that team. Nothing great. Look, fantasy-wise, I'm not saying go out and pick him up off of waivers if he's available and, try to plug and play if you need help at running back. But, he's showing a little something. He has. He's running well. I think they might have something there. I don't think it's the running game that's affecting them. I just think they're just this weird team that you just can't predict. They look great against bad teams. They look okay against other teams. And then they just haven't been able to beat a really good quality team quite yet. The Saints, to me, though, what is it? Trevor Siemian, bro, they're not that good. Kamara might be back. That's fine. Look, I think the Bills bounce back because if they don't, they're in serious trouble.
Just say it, Jules. Just say the Bills. I know you pick the Bills every week.
I'm going Bills. That's it, bro. I'm going with the Bills. I love Josh Allen. All right, I think they're gonna. I had them going to the Super Bowl, so I got to stick with my team. All right, Bills.
You just get a Josh Allen jersey by now already. John, what do you like?
Truthfully, I don't like either team, and I don't like the fucking spread either. I don't like anything about this, but my gut's telling me to go Bills, so I'm gonna have to go Bills.
Man, you guys.
There it is. Bills, huh? So
looking up my Thanksgiving.
Bills and Lions, baby, all day.
Next game. Patriots have been on fire lately. They're home. They're -6.5 against the Titans. I like the Titans.
Woo! That was quick. Yo, Patriots are rolling.
They are.
And I'm gonna ride the Pats and Belichick till I can't no more. So I'm going Patriots. I'm going Patriots at home all day. They're gonna fucking run the Titans with their no fucking run game. They're y'all. I think they could win by double digits. All right, that's how much I like the Patriots.
John, you like the Patriots too?
Yep.
Patriots it is. Man, you guys are fucking
This is either going to be the week or it's not. Like, that's what's up. All right. That's exactly what's happening here.
You might see MFT creep up all the way. All right. Next game, the Bengals. They're at home. They're -4.5 against Pitt.
Didn't the Bengals beat Pittsburgh earlier this year?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
This game is in Cincy too.
Yeah, I know.
They usually play tight games, though.
They do. I think I'm going to take the Steelers with the points.
Yeah, I like the Steelers with the points, so.
Oh, I was going to go Bengals. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
I think it might be one of those weeks where each one of us pick a fucking a money ball bet. The way things.
Yeah,
are
we might have to. And the way that this is going so far.
Oh, next
I'm gonna
game.
take the Giants.
The next game, the Buccaneers are in Indy. Bucks are favored by 2.5 against the Colts.
Trap game.
I'm
Trap
taking.
game. I almost want John. You go first before Mike and I say anything. What would you do in this game, right?
I'm just brokenhearted, man. The Colts. It's only a 3-point spread. You said is that 3 points?
2.5.
2.5. That
Two and
day,
a half?
2.5. I was
11
pulling
and a
everybody
half?
last week.
Bro, oh my God, I really fucking hope the Giants just start fucking winning games, man. I can't tolerate this disrespect anymore. It's so ridiculous. It's not. It's fair though because they fucking Giants just don't want to win games. But anyways, as far as this particular game goes, Tom Brady's fired up, man. And if it's only 2.5, I'm going Tom Brady.
Yep.
So is all of America. Something's wrong with that fucking spread, guys. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. Something ain't right. Something smells rotten in fucking Indy with that one. All right, 2.5. I hate that spread. I tell you that all the time. What the fuck is a 2.5 point spread?
What's it
All
is?
right? Well, you can't win by 2.5. Like it's just a shit spread. I hate it. I don't know. I don't like that spread. I just don't like that spread. There's something up with it. I think although that the Bucks do look good. Oh man, like this is this weird thing that almost wants me to take the Colts here, but I'll go with the Bucks.
I get it because the Colts got a decent offense. Tampa Bay is hurting the secondary. They're going to put up points, but I think Tampa's just like they're too talented on offense, man, to get 3 and outs. They're going to score. They're just going to fucking score. Tampa Bay it is. All right. Anyway, next game. This is a weird game. Fuck this team. The Atlanta Falcons, they're in Jacksonville, and Atlanta Falcons is minus a half a point. Not even 1 full point. They're just minus a half.
ESPN has them dead even right now. I guess I think they use Caesars. Yeah, Caesars Sportsbooks have them dead even right now. That's funny.
You know what?
Fuck Atlanta.
I think Jacksonville wins this game. I think they can win this game. I mean, even though wait, did Jacksonville? No, Jacksonville beat who earlier in the year in London? Everybody remember? It wasn't them, right? It wasn't the Falcons. Or was it the Jets? I don't remember. No, it wasn't the Jets. Jets lost to Atlanta in London.
They beat the Dolphins.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they beat. Yeah, it was the Dolphins. Yeah, because then they beat the.
You know what? I like Jacksonville, man. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. Right? Calvin Ridley still going in for strength help. I don't know what's going on with that guy.
Fuck Atlanta.
Yeah, the hell with Atlanta. Fuck them. Let's go with Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm on board with Jacksonville.
Perfect.
Oh, that could be the money ball pick right there. John says he's on board.
Ball the Jacksonville Jags.
That could be the one.
I don't know why I would ever say that again out loud, but if you really want to, we can, because nobody
would do that.
Either Atlanta or Jacksonville.
Hey, we got to get points somehow. We got to catch up.
This game's gonna finish in a tie.
We got to start taking chances. If we hit, we good.
Let's do it.
All right. So next game, Texans. They're at home. They're minus 2.5 against the Jets. Fucking Texans, man. Look at them go.
Did Deshaun Jackson play this week? Did Deshaun Watson play this week?
Who's saying that?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, did you hear something that I didn't? I'm like, did he leave the massage parlor seriously? You're like, wait, what? He left the massage parlor early. He's like, I got a football game I got to fucking start at.
Is Zach Wilson back on the center?
I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
If I could get some confirmation on that, and Zach, I know Michael Carter's hurt, so they're already down to like their third string running back or whatever the hell it is.
Mike Johnson.
Yeah, I think that's who's starting it. Like it's just bad over there. So bad with the Texans. This is an ugly game. This is one of those games. If you're not a fan or forced to watch in New York City, you ain't watching this game because it's that bad. Yeah. I'm gonna go Jets.
I'll go Texans.
All right,
Texans
on you, John.
Texans. You heard him. He's like, "Fuck the Jets." Texans. It is. Boom.
All right.
All right. That actually might be my money ball pick later. We'll get back to that later. All right. Next game. Panthers. They're in Miami. Panthers are minus 1.5.
Here's where I'm gonna do a little flip-flopping. Only because I really hate the Dolphins for whatever reason. I just hate them for some odd reason. I'm gonna go Panthers. Cam Newton's back, baby.
I'm riding with you, Jules. I'm going with the Panthers too, man.
I agree.
Panthers
wow.
That might be a money ball.
Might be a money ball then. Right? Who's money balling the Dolphins and the Panthers?
That's true.
Now that he
true.
told
I mean,
everybody,
they might
everybody's
never
gonna do it.
Wednesday. They go, yo, these guys are going crazy. They did fucking money ball in Jacksonville, Atlanta, and Carolina, and Miami. What are these guys trying to do? We trying to catch Woody. That's what we're trying to do.
You're gonna have to. It's got to be one of your Moneyball picks. I already got mine. I already got mine set. I know who I'm going with.
All right. All right.
So we'll decide at the end. All right, next game. Here we go. Giants are at home. They're plus 3.5. They're getting 3.5 points against the Eagles.
All right. So hold on. I'm going to try to put my hat on. I'm going to take the fanboy out. I'm going to take the homer out, right? And look at this realistically. And realistically,
I can't.
I got to say at home against a team that, like, you know, they're averaging like 150 yards in the air. I mean, literally, that's all they do, but they're still somehow scoring over 20-something points a game. I don't understand this Eagles team. And maybe part of it is because it's the only divisional opponent we haven't seen all year. And it's usually we'll catch them at some point already and had already gotten to play them and see what they're all about. We haven't. You know, I don't get it. I don't understand this team. And you know what? If you're going to make a bold statement 2 days before Thanksgiving and try to shake shit up and you go out and fire your offensive coordinator and Jason Garrett, you better come back home and beat a divisional opponent. And because of that, I got to go Giants, because even if it wasn't us doing it and us being the Giants podcast and the Big Blue Offensive and all that nonsense, take what I just said. You went and made a huge statement before a major holiday and fired your offensive coordinator. And now you're going to play a home game against a divisional opponent for the first time this year. And you're going to
Michael Strahan Day.
You're going to lose that game. That's just terrible. I got to go Giants. And I'm getting points at home. Fuck that.
They haven't beat anybody. If you look at Philly's schedule, you know Philly beat. They beat Atlanta. Whoop-de-doo, right? They beat Carolina by field goal. They beat the Lions, of course. Everybody beats them. Then they beat Denver, which, of course, I bet that fucking game. So I thought Denver was going to clobber them after what Denver did to Cowboys the previous week. But they won that game. Okay. They look good against Denver. They beat the Saints because, you know, Trevor Siemian. So they really haven't beat anybody. So, yeah, this game's going to be close. Obviously, I would never if I take the Eagles in anything, shoot me. Shoot me right there on the fucking spot. This was my team that I hate. I despise. I hate growing up. I hate this fucking team. Fuck them. I almost want to take a Moneyball pick on the Giants.
Well, I was going to do that if we were splitting it up, so we can.
Well,
I'm going Giants. I mean, not that it matters. You guys already picked both the Giants, but I don't know. I just feel like there's so much at stake this game. I think if they didn't fire Jason Garrett, you would have a 10,000, 15,000, maybe more Eagles fans in the building on Sunday on fucking Michael Strahan Day. And I think because they did fire Jason Garrett, I think you're going to have people who are really curious to see what the difference is. And, you know,
that's a good point.
You know what I mean? I think that, like I said before, I think they're definitely gonna fucking try. They're gonna try, and
I hope they try. I hope they try.
I hope they actually try. You know, I don't want them to just like show up and then like not try. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it may not work, but they're gonna try to be like maybe a little overly aggressive. I would say
go out there and give it your best, man. Give it 110%.
The coach is like, "Hey, listen, are you guys gonna like at least try today?"
All right, guys, bring it in. All right, look, get out there. It's Michael Strahan Day. We just fired Jason Garrett, and make sure whatever you do, just go out there and try. All right, just make sure you try.
Whoever's not going to try today,
philosophy
the locker room.
I mean, from a philosophy.
If you don't feel like trying, you know what? Just fucking pack up and go home, take a shower, go home early.
Oh my God.
Anyway, like, you know, but one good point on that is too, you can't retire 2 Hall of Famer jerseys in one season and lose both games at home. I mean, come on, dude. Like how much worse could that get? You know, like if they lose another game or we retire another Hall of Famers jersey that won a Super Bowl for the Giants,
could get ugly.
That would just be shameful. There's just so many fucking reasons why they can't drop this game.
And this is the revenge game for the Eagles throwing week 17 last year to the Redskins And you know what I mean?
Excellent
Like, so
point.
much has happened since then. Nobody thinks about it. But we've been waiting for this game because, NFL's weird like that, where sometimes you play a division rival for the first time, 10 weeks into the season, 11 weeks into the season. But
About that.
we are. This is the revenge game for that. There's just so many storylines if you think about it. I really fucking hope they don't go embarrass themselves.
That's why they fired Garrett.
I really just hope they don't fucking go embarrass themselves and they go out there and win the fucking game. I don't even care. I'm not saying we're gonna go 6-1 and fucking try to, make the playoffs and all that stuff. That'd be awesome, but it is what it is at this point now. Just kind of see what happens the rest of the season. Just watch it like you're watching a show on Netflix, essentially. You're not gonna get too bent out of shape about it. But there's so much at stake. You got to fucking go out and win this game. You got to go win this game.
Well, you got to try. All right. The next is Chargers. They're -3 against the Broncos.
Superchargers. Go.
Yeah.
Love that kid, Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Won a week for me. That dude was fucking going bananas the other night for me. It was fantastic. Yeah, I don't think the Broncos have a chance. I think the Chargers got to set the tone. They got to catch up with the Chiefs, keep pace with the Chiefs. I think they win.
I like Andrew Thomas a lot, but we could have had Justin Herbert, which kind of upsets me because I loved Herbert for years. Even when they wanted him to come out, but he didn't want to come out. God, that's gonna haunt us for a while. All right. Anyway,
we're not.
Yeah, let's hope not, man. All right, the next game, Packers are at home. They're -1. We got to speed this up, guys. Packers -1 against the Rams. I like the Rams.
I think the Rams have to bounce back, right? I mean, dude, this is a tough game. It's in Lambeau.
Green Bay's hurt though.
Why? Who's hurt?
That's a lot of play. Even Rodgers with his toe, he didn't look right. That's going to linger for the rest of the year. They lost another tackle to ACL.
Oh, right. They did lose that tackle.
Yeah, David Bakhtiari.
The Rams got to win. If they don't win, doubtful. They went and got all these players for no reason. Like that's literally, you don't go get Von Miller and Odell and all this bullshit, and then you just keep losing game after game after game. I think they get right, and I think they go into Lambeau and they pull out a win. It's
who's
not
doubtful? John, who's doubtful?
Doubtful. Where is it? David Bakhtiari.
Shit.
Offensive tackle.
Yeah, so they're going to struggle, man. I like the Rams. So
I think the Rams. I like them.
We'll go with them. All right, next game. 49ers, they're at home. They're -3. They've been playing better ball lately, but they got Minnesota coming into town.
Honestly, this should be the game where Minnesota steps up and snags it because they can make themselves a playoff contending team, right? I mean, the 49ers ain't there. This isn't really their team, although they've been playing a lot better. So, here it is. I think that it's tough. It's over there. 49ers have been playing better. Kittle's healthy again. Debo, they have a yuck. All this shit's going. Jeff Wilson's back. Oh, God, this is a tough one, man. I just think because it's in San Francisco is the only reason why I'm going with the 49ers. If this was in Minnesota, I would be all over the Vikings, believe it or not.
It sucks that these two teams are playing at the same time, Rams, Packers, and Vikings and 49ers, because I really want to pay attention to the Vikings 49ers game. That looks like a great game, man, on paper.
Red zone.
Yeah, I know, but I like to. I'll use one eye for one of the TVs and another eye for the other one. So I'm gonna go Minnesota, man. I think it's gonna be a really good game.
Mike, I'm with you.
Minnesota.
Wow. Yep. Minnesota.
Kirk Cousins, you know what I mean? Sometimes he does good things. All right.
Well, listen, you know what? The 49ers have burned me all season, so why won't they burn me again? It makes sense. Right?
Yeah, it does make sense. All right, next game. The Ravens, they're at home. They're -4 against the Browns. I don't know. God, the Browns look disgusting, man. They almost lost to the fucking Lions. I remember I had a beat writer that does the Giants. That guy, Dan Snyder. He's like, kept telling me, like arguing with me that the Browns had a better regime than the Giants. I'm like, you sure, man? They look kind of shitty to me. And sure enough, like they just look like garbage all year. Is it Baker's fault? Is it Odell's fault? Like, I don't know, but that offense looks like shit.
Is Kareem Hunt back?
That's a good question. I don't know, man.
It's like, I'll be honest with you, like that team has fallen off ever since they've lost Hunt. Everybody thinks it's all Chubb. But Hunt is probably just as good of a runner, and that thunder and lightning that they provide makes all the difference. And we got Baker crying, I'm a little beat up from the season.
Good point.
It's like, bro, go make another fucking commercial, all right? Like, stop, like, either that or play some goddamn football. Like, enough, all right? And honestly,
he's not on the injury report.
So he's not on the report.
Oh, so
honestly, if that's the case, Browns. That's my pick.
I like the Ravens, man. Baker's too hurt. Like, he just looks like shit. He can't throw the ball, like, accurate at all. I got to go Ravens, so it's up to John.
Fuck. Cleveland.
Wow,
Cleveland.
Getting the points.
Wow. It's going to be a big week, Mike.
Last game is the Monday night game. This is a shitty game. The Washington NFL team is at home. They're going against the Seahawks, and Washington is favored by 0.5 point.
Yo, get the fuck out of here, man.
Seattle looks like shit, though.
Seattle has played like dog shit. And honestly, how are you gonna take that team? They haven't shown me anything. Ever since Russell's been back, they just haven't been solid. Alex Collins looked like he took over Carson. Carson's now out for the season. Like, this team is down the tube right now. No. Washington beat Tampa. They come over and win. They're home. It's Monday night. They're pissed off they can't play on Thanksgiving. I'm going to go with the what the fuck team.
Yeah, me too. The what the fuck team, too.
What the fuck team?
Really? Both of you?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but listen, I want to win.
You know what? Right now we took our homer caps off, and we're just thinking like gamblers. We're not thinking like the Giants fans.
This is the gambler segment.
Even still, I still think that fucking Russell Wilson can win.
All right,
yeah, I thought that last week.
Washington it is. Now we got to come up with a Moneyball pick each. I know where I'm going. Let me just go first, get mine out of the way. I'm going with the Houston Texans to just beat the shit out of the Jets. If the Jets start Flacco, it's just a joke.
Jules?
Yeah, you said you had one or no? If you had one, then go for it.
I mean, yeah, I like I said, I don't know. I want to go with the Giants, man.
All right.
You're gonna go with the Giants, Sean?
Yeah,
all right. I think I know who Jules.
If not now, when? Like when?
I know what you're saying, but like, God, the Philly Eagles, they break my heart. I fucking hate them. I think I know, Jules. I think I know who your Moneyball pick's gonna be.
All right, so throw out a clue there, some sort. Like, so I know, like AFC, NFC.
I'll go with
the Great Lakes.
I'll go with the it's on the AFC.
Oh, it's definitely in the AFC, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know it's like it's probably in a warm weather community.
No, believe it or not. It's
really?
Not. It's north, it's up north. And
wow.
No, it's not the Bills.
Right, by the Great Lakes. I was right.
No, it's not the Bills. It's not the Bills.
The
no,
Bengals.
Man. I am going to roll with the best quarterback in this draft in Mac Jones and the Patriots until they dethrone me and they lose a game. I have been riding the Patriots for weeks now, bro. Belichick's got something going. Mac Jones is Tom Brady 2.0, all right?
I thought you were going with Chargers all day.
Yeah, I thought about them too, but I really did think the Chargers as well. But you know what it is? They're not home. If it wasn't LA, yes, I would ride them all day. You know, sometimes Mile High can play tricks on you, so I backed off of that one. Now the Patriots have been rolling. I know the Titans are coming over that like upset loss to Houston, but still, I think that y'all don't know if the Titans are going to get right, and I think Belichick at home is just going to be way too much for them, and I that's where I see no Julio Jones, no Derrick Henry, bro, stop. If they don't end up beating them by 7, especially knowing that they are now the first place team in the AFC East. And they got the big showdown coming. I think it's next week they play the Bills. Yeah, no way are they overlooking this Titans game. No shot in hell. They know they need to win this one.
I like these picks this week, man. I think I might take a quick ride to Connecticut on DraftKings. I think you'll have a good week, man. I feel it. But that's fun. Big segment. So make your money, man. Get that.
That's it. Money. Look, it's the holidays. I'll be off to that, those 4 days. Maybe I'll take a ride up to Connecticut with you, Mike. Who knows? We're looking crazy out there. That's what's up.
Everybody's on their phones in the fucking parking lot. We're all fucking chilling. Might as well bring four.
That's it. Having fun, right?
Yeah. Is that real?
There's no doubt. There's an exit like off of like 684 and shit that as soon as you get into Connecticut, it's like a rest stop. And it's not a bunch of truck drivers murdering people anymore. It's everybody on their phone gambling. It's fucking nuts.
And people just probably sit there too.
Everybody has their
right?
heads down, and then you know, all of a sudden you make eye contact by accident. They're like look at you, shake their head, like, yeah, you know what's up.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, it's wild.
The
Yo,
cops bust your
Patriots,
balls
bro,
about that? No,
Patriots.
right? They don't give a shit.
They were like, yo, people yell out the windows, like, who do you like? Who do you like? Yeah, I'm like, I like the Giants, well, I like Denver. Fucking one dude yell out, he's like, yo, I like women. And he fucking
That's great. The cops don't bust your balls about that, though, right? It's not like
nah,
it's
what are
legal
you
there.
doing? You're just
Oh, what are
pulling
you
over
doing?
on it. It's a rest stop. You're resting.
Yeah, it's that cell phone free zone.
You're not giving your bank account a rest.
Yeah,
I
you
guess
know?
it's not legal for residents. It's based off of the geography.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, listen, fellas, I think that wraps up another weekly episode of the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. Hit us up at Twitter at BBONYG. All right, we are definitely listening to that. Hit us up about some picks, man. You like some of the picks we make? You don't? Have you been following them? Have they been winning you any money, losing you any money? Hit us up about that, man. We don't necessarily always have to talk about the Giants. We love just talking about football in general. But with that in mind, look, stay safe. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. All that good stuff. Try not to eat too much or drink too much, even though I know I will, right? I always end up overeating and over drinking during the next 4 days that are coming. But fucking enjoy it. Hopefully we get some entertaining football. Yeah, you know, it starts tomorrow night, guys. I don't know about you, man, but that shit starts tomorrow night. It's gonna end with the Eagles and the Giants on Sunday. That's it. Like that shit's gonna be a blur and food and mashed potatoes and all types of shit. But that's that. We'll definitely be back for next week. That's for sure. And hopefully, we'll have some entertaining stuff to talk about with all the whole changes and Garrett being fired. But until then, stay good, stay warm, stay healthy, and have a happy Thanksgiving. We're out.
Yeah, let's go Giants.
Ain't agree when holidays are a blur. Peace.